Hello folks and welcome to Cold Email Intro with Synergy Sales Accelerators. Today we take you through a 5-step cold email guide that absolutely anyone can follow. By the close of the video, you're going to be equipped to launch your very own campaign. So let's get into it. So stage number 1, your ICP. What does that stand for? Your ideal customer persona. The cornerstone to any outbound campaign is who you're going to target. No more spray and pray. Personalization and laser focused targeting is critical to your success. Now, what is an ICP? It's a pretty simple approach, but for the benefit of this example, let's say we're using a managed service provider, for instance. Say you have 50 customers presently, you'll know the ones that are of value and low friction, equally those that you would move on in an instant if finances allowed you to. So split them into the best and worst customers now, and then start assessing the characteristics. Are there similarities to be drawn? You may identify a similar challenge within your best customers, but for an example, it may well be that those that sit between 1 and 2 million revenue, they are creative businesses with minimal IT skills within the business that generally view IT as a cost center, but their leadership are willing to innovate and attempt to turn tech use into a competitive advantage. For example, equally, it could well be that you want to target those, or the best customers for you are those within 30 miles of your HQ. They go through sort of purchasing assessments every 3 years. They have a high turnover of staff, for an instance. You will know this better than anyone. But once you've categorized those and you've formalized what is your ideal customer persona, it's on to number 2. Time to build that targeted list of ICPs. Now, how do you do that and how do you assess it? First, is the list up to date? Adding old data into the CRM is going to cripple productivity. Secondly, how many ICPs are actually in it? You have to be really firm here. Only pay for ICP candidates. Thirdly, does it work, or does the list work with existing processes? Or will it force your sales reps to work out of an Excel sheet and then import good calls into your CRM, for an instance? That's not necessarily scalable, is it? You want your sales teams focused on selling, not doing data lifts. And then finally, what is the file it's delivered in? Is it compatible with existing tools, or do you need further tools to leverage it effectively? You could use Apollo, for an instance, to build out these lists. You could use a Sales Navigator tool. You could also go to a third-party data provider to just get a bulk CSV file. And now we move on to number 3, deliverability, a step I have overlooked myself in the past, but it'll kill you if you do. You want to make sure the mail gets to the sender. First things first, you need to warm up your domains. You can use Apollo, you can use GMAS. The purpose of this is to actually get your domain, well versed in sending and receiving mail, so that they don't think that you are a spam sender, for an instance. Equally, use multiple domains so that you do not corrupt your main domain. And then you want to set up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, because essentially what they are is a set of email authentication methods to prove to ISPs and mail services that senders are truly authorized to send email from that particular domain. Really critical you set all of those up. And now we get into the juice, baby. Messaging that resonates with your decision makers. You know your ICP, so you want to construct that message that resonates with the decision makers within those. First things first, you want to tell a story, one that resonates and makes the ICP the hero through leveraging your product in service. This could be done over a number of mails or sequence mails, for an instance. But then one thing you have to back it up with is a strong offer. You know what they make these people tick. You want to follow the format, or a very good format to follow is we achieved X result by X date as seen with X client, something that's relevant to that target audience. And this feeds into the next section, which is a case study, right? It goes without saying. You want something that will resonate, maybe throw in a video breakdown to make it really personalized. And then follow it up with a soft call to action. You're looking to buy time at this point with your prospect, not actually close a deal. So just get them on a call, or perhaps just move them through that sales funnel over the email exchange. And then number 5, sequencing your emails for send. And this is really optimizing your campaign, right? You could use a number of systems here to manage. Apollo is a good one. HubSpot provides some good insight, as well as Dynamics. And here what you see is really best practice, which is an omni-channel approach. Now, email makes up the bulk of the communication, but there's tons of data that backs up then the requirement to leverage multiple channels. Connecting across multiple channels builds trust and credibility with the prospect. Sequencing, for instance, can last for 3 weeks or 3 months, depending on your ICP and their buying cycle. And then finally, what now? If you'd like to understand more around the successful campaigns that we at Synergy have run for partners like yourself, you can book 15 minutes through us through the link in the bio, or you can access our actionable info deck via the website to get started, or just crack on yourselves. But either way, happy hunting and thanks for your time today.